say to yourself, I am more than my physical body. Because I am more than physical matter, I can perceive that which is greater than the physical world. I deeply desire to expand, to experience, to know, to understand, to control, to use such greater energies and energy systems as may be beneficial and constructive to me and to those who follow me. I deeply desire the help and cooperation, the assistance, the understanding of those individuals whose wisdom, development, and experience are equal to or greater than my own. I ask their guidance and protection from any influence or any source that might provide me with less than my stated desires.
Do not know all the answers to the questions about reality. Do not claim to know the ultimate truth about life. I seek that which has been made hidden as a part of a family amongst lords of consciousness.
Yeah.
I'm the void one.
Welcome to Lighting the Void.
Broadcasting live from Forest Tower Studios, live at the top of some crazy hill in the Mossy Creek bottoms of Cane Creek, Arkansas, live from a shack, actually. It's Wednesday the 21st, 2024, August the 21st, 2024, and we're going to get back into this deep night, this late night of conscious exploration. Jesus. If you want to support the Fringe FM, please do so. Go to thefringe.fm, send us your support, and join the Supporters Club, or you can join the LTV Patreon. And like I said, I'm getting this out of the way. So the Patreon gets you all the stuff in the shop, right? And thanks to Jane. I don't know if I'm going to do this after every show, but thanks to Jen. What's up, Jen? Let me say hi to everybody real quick. Jane, Jen, Sudi, Sir Wolf, Domek, Word Salad. Did I miss anybody? I'm sure I missed somebody. I know I did. Let me see. Let's see. Grant Gets Out. That's a cool name. Jenny. I saw Jenny in there somewhere. Gypsy Jenny. What's up, you guys? All the Void Walkers. What's up? Lurkers, wherever you are. Anyways, if you're listening on the station, tune in, TalkStream Live, all of you. So after the show, we had a long discussion last night. I opened up a thing called the after show chat for all the supporters and producers and stuff. And I think it went to I think we talked till 3 a.m. I usually don't do that. Jen, are you slinging drinks? Or are you off for it? What is up with, see, this is what I'm talking about. I need, the next project that we're going to do is to get some lights in here. You see all that fuzzy stuff? That's I'm not doing that on purpose. It's because I have dollar store lights on this green screen. That's what it is. We need some real lights up in here. Yeah, that conversation went everywhere last night. It was pretty cool. So we talked a lot about, I got to hear everybody's, I guess, opinions on what they thought about the show and this guy. And then, a few people shared their stories. And then in the chat or in the Discord today, Sudi sent this video that I think is pretty cool. It's Thomas Campbell talking about what keeps people from having or achieving out-of-body experiences. So this girl asks him, like, what's the number one thing that's doing it to people, right? That's doing that. And this is what he says. See if I can get it loud enough.
From being able to do out-of-body easily is, one, belief. They believe that, it's impossible, or it's crazy, or it's silly, or it's difficult, at least. Two, they tend to live in their intellect. When you live in your intellect, it chases away your intuition. The intuition and the intellect are sort of incompatible in a way. Now, they can learn to work together, but the intellect wants to be in charge. The intellect wants to lead. It wants to be aware. It wants to know how this process works.
Yep.
So the intellect is sitting there saying, okay, I'm going to go out of body now. I'm going to lie down and I'm going to get my mind and go someplace else. And the intellect's sitting up there and saying, okay, you're still here, though. I can tell you're still here.
That's
raise your arm and see, that's a physical arm. See, you're still here. So as long as the intellect is sitting there, aware, wanting to be in charge, wanting to see every step of the way, you can't go anywhere. You're stuck because you don't have an intuitive space when your intellect is in charge. So what you have to do is let that intellect go, put it off to the side, and just experience. And the first experience you get, your intellect will jump in and say, oh, is that real? Let's say you experience a voice. Something says, hello, Natalia. I'm your great-grandfather. And you go, oh, did I just make that up? See, your intellect jumps in immediately and judges it. Is it real? Or did you just make it up? Well, it crashes it. It's gone now because the intellect jumped in. Mm-hmm. So you have to put yourself in a frame of mind where you can just have experience without judging it, without assessing it, without evaluating it. Just have the experience. Now, if you have those kinds of experiences for 3 months, now it's time to go get your intellect, get it back in the game and say, are these experiences valuable? Am I learning anything? Are they going anywhere? And if the answer is no, well, you're not doing it right. It's not helping. You have to do something else. Mm-hmm. So you need to bring your intellect in. Otherwise, you could walk down la-la lane and convince yourself of all kinds of things that weren't true.
Yep.
But you can't bring your intellect in the beginning. Mm-hmm. In the beginning, you just have to experience and let it go, and experience and let it go, and keep doing that until you have this whole basket full of experience. Now bring your intellect in and judge the experience of whether it's useful or not whether it's true or not, because truth is not the point. Asking, is this true, is the wrong question. Information defines reality. What's true? Is this virtual reality true? Is what you're saying, well, is that true or not? It's information. Now, information can come from 3 sources. Information can come from the larger conscious system. It can come from some other individuated unit of consciousness, and it can come from yourself because you're consciousness and you can create information. So the thing is, you want to know that what you're getting is not coming from yourself because you call that my imagination.
Imagination, exactly.
And you say, oh, it's just my imagination, like because it's your imagination, it's not real. It's some kind of inferior thing. Okay. Well, that's not true. All information is equally real.
That's pretty
All
profound
information
statement.
is equally real. You can make choices based on that information. You can evolve and de-evolve based on the choices you make. All information is equally real. It's just information. So how do you separate these 3 sources of information? It has to be one of those 3. It's the only 3 sources there are. How do you know which is which? You can never know with certainty. With experience, you can know pretty well, but never with certainty. But you can be a 99.99 because you've had a lot of experience and you know how this information comes and where it's coming from just through experience. But when you're a beginner, you don't know. You can't know with certainty at all. What keeps people?
So what he's saying is you have to surrender to the experience at first until you have enough out-of-body experiences or enough experiences to then go back and say, okay, are these travels that I'm doing, are they valuable to me? Like, if they're not, then you're not doing something right. So Jane says, I thought an OBE was much more obvious than that, like night and day difference from dreaming. Well, it is. An etheric out-of-body projection is different than dreaming. What he's talking about, though, is what keeps people from going out of body, right? So there's dreaming, which you forget about all the time. You forget what happens. You have to wake up there early in the morning and start writing a bunch of stuff down. It starts to fade away. There's lucid dreaming. So when you become more aware in your dreams, you recall more stuff in the dream, right? And it's easier to write down. Then there's what I call is astral projection or active imagination, where people do exercises where they just give into the visions that come to them. That's what they do. No intent, anything like that at first, but they just start giving in to the visions that come in. I hope I'm not confusing you so far. And then, so the OBE, etheric projection, this is where all these methods of that Thomas himself teaches, Robert Monroe, William Buellman, when you hear things like the rope technique, the ladder technique, the peel out method, or getting yourself to a certain place. Well, this method is based upon relaxing the body, whether you're lying down, sitting down. Usually people are lying down, and getting to that vibratory state and then trying to project yourself out of body, like your whole etheric self. What ends up happening, though, a lot of times is you can start astral traveling or start falling into a dream or whatever, and then you can go in between all of these states that I talked about. Well, the reason why I like talking about the etheric out-of-body state so much is because that is the most profound thing that a person can go through that shakes up their paradigm if they've never had an OBE, right? So if you've never had an OBE and you're lucid dreaming, or you think you're in the astral realm, or you're not sure or whatever, that's not that paradigm shifting. It's still pretty cool, right? It's still pretty cool to experience that. But if you can, like, say you listen to Hemi Sync, whatever you do, and you actually peel yourself out of your body, right, by using one of the methods that they teach, you can see the real world. Your recall is even more than a lucid dream. You can see your body sleeping right there in front of you, and even try to affect the real world. You start to understand that all of this stuff that we're talking about, dreams, lucid dreams, astral travel, active imagination, the OBE experience, all of this stuff are just levels of vibrations and consciousness. It's what we're trying to do is travel this place, void walk enough through this place to try to understand it more, right? If what I think mainly he's saying here is if you start just questioning, is this real or am I making this up? You're kind of negating the whole process, You're negating all of it. Easier said than done, Tom. Yeah, it is much easier said than done. He used to say the same thing to me when he came on the broadcast before. He said that, not to judge things when you first start getting out of body. Don't worry about it. Don't question it. Just go with the flow, right? And whatever comes up when you're out of body, just go with it. If it's a pink rabbit, that pink rabbit could be a portal somewhere. Just go with it. It's only after a while, and this is why I like Thomas Campbell and his methods. It's only after a while, after you've done these things, you start to collect the information. Then you can use your intellect and assess, did I get anything valuable? What did I learn? All that stuff, and then go back and do it again. So we're back to this guy. This guy that's, I think he's really proficient at active imagination and astral travel. But remember, like, these guys that are in the Explorers program have been doing this stuff according to the Explorers program, they've been doing this stuff for a long time. And they picked the most efficient explorers to do this stuff with, right? So I thought we could I wanted to do the 8 one where it talks about physical symptoms and travel and getting through your fears, wave manipulation, things like that, which I believe would be track 7. Have you guys been listening to this, by the way? Any of you? What's up, Cosmic? I hope you guys have. But I can't understand a lot of times what the instructors say.
Session 1618, the 7th session with AUB, and this time Don is in the booth. April 13th, 86. Okay, you feel you're in focus 10 now. And if there's any further
Who's Dom?
Mental adjustments you want to do, this is a good place to do it, and turn loose of anything you don't want.
All right, let's check this out.
Aside. If you want it, you get it on the way back. You're aware of our joined intent here to have you go, let your consciousness expand, or to travel in whatever ways you utilize to make contact with CD120. And the point of our mission is information of any kind, but precisely on the matter of what we can do to technologically or any other way to make it possible for information to leak through, to become available in our joint desires with the intelligences at CD120. Do you feel ready to start?
Yes.
All right. I'll just ask you to stay in the sound of my voice and to tell me, if you can, tell me anything that comes into your field of vision that is worth remarking on at all, without any interpreting or judgments or anything. Just share it with you, share it with us, and it might be kinesthetic. I haven't worked with you before. It might be visual, it might be just thought forms, whatever. We will wait then to hear from you. And I'm changing the signal as we had previously agreed. And this sound now will be your point of focus as you follow or go wherever this may lead us, and we'll wait to hear.
All right, guys, so I guess he's getting in focus 10 here. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of these files. Who said that? Wu-Tang? What's up, Wu-Tang? There's a whole bunch of these. Hundreds of them.
Hello, friend. I hate to interrupt, but how are you doing? Can you talk about where you are or anything?
I'm doing fine. Just here.
Do you have any sense of change? Shall we just leave you alone a while and wait? It's fine with us. I'm just checking, because we have to establish a working pattern. And you weren't getting anything that you were unable to speak.
Just local pictures. Trying to get out of this building.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Is there anything you think of that I can help you do?
Be quiet. That's what I'd say to him. You can help me by
It
being
might
quiet.
help occasionally, if it should occur to you, feel like an impulse to do so, is simply to tell us what you're dealing with in getting out or getting onward at any point. Feel free to do that.
Okay. But I can't get out of this waiting place. I'm just at a place waiting, but I can't get out of there. There's nothing there but me. But I just can't move out of this place.
You're not getting any impressions at all of why they're waiting or why this is difficult.
Man, I'm telling you right now, if I was that guy, I'd be like, listen, can you just be quiet for a minute? It's like backseat driving, right? Can you just be quiet? So he just told him, I'm out of body. I just can't get out of the building for some reason. Like, he's like stuck. And the dude's just asking him questions. I'd be like, if it was me, I'd just be like, just give me a minute. Let me get there.
To get out of, there's no whys in this at all for you.
No, there's just a peaceful. There's just no urgency. Just peaceful. And there's no urgency to move, to do nothing. Just stay here.
Okay, that coincides with a sense that I've been getting, is that if you just float there, feeling good, this may be all we need to accomplish. Why don't you just try that and see, and enjoy whatever you're experiencing without feeling that you have to do anything more than that. I'll give you a little while on that. I may come back in after a while. Is that all right?
That's okay.
All right.
Jane, I'm going to drop these first two files to get to Focus 10 for you here on YouTube. So there are two separate videos. There's an introductory. That's the introductory one right there. And then there's the open exercise. And there it is right there. Those two are free. That could get you to that in itself. And I did this too. If you do them both enough, you can get to Focus 10 and get out of body just with those two videos right there.
All right, we're here, yes. What's going on with you?
Just a series of pictures, and I don't understand any of them. Just things that I can't. Just pictures that I can't understand. It looks like it may have been a solar system or galaxy or something that makes no sense. It's indescribable. Just another place that I can't explain. It's like been in this waiting room and I can't get out. There's no reason to leave. There's no reason to leave, but and there's no incentive for me to leave there. And they all contact me when they're ready to talk to me. That was the message. We'll call you. We'll contact you when we're ready to talk to you.
All right. Was that a signal to terminate the mission? Or?
No, that came through, and I just repeated. But that's just what it is. It's just their way of talking to me. We'll talk to you when we're ready to talk to you.
All right. That's, do you feel comfortable with that?
That's just what it is.
Well, while you're right there in that waiting room, would you focus and see in the emotional area if you get any hits at all that would classify as emotion rather than cerebration?
I'm going to ask you guys a question while he's getting out of body. And if you can answer in the chat, that'd be great. I'm just curious. I should have done a post about this, but if you're able to get out of body, focus 10, like peel yourself out of body, and you can get into, well, I don't want to complicate it. Once you're able to get out of body, what's the first thing that you want to do? Most of these people are making contact with aliens or channeling something, and I'm just curious what you guys would want to do.
Is it a comfortable seriousness? In the way you normally would relate to seriousness?
Not a lot of laughter. Just serious.
Yes, and our experience has been that the laughter is not absent. It's just it isn't always easy for us to find. It's shown when they want to, I guess. Good humor, good fun feelings. Anything in the feeling, emotion, urgency kind of area.
Where I was waiting, there's no. Just in a big space, just there, and just like. There's no reason to do anything. Just stay here.
But your feelings when you're there sounded like you're feeling good to be there.
Absolutely.
Would you like to stay a little bit longer? We have plenty of time here. I just leave it to your hands if you want to stay there a while, without my interruptions.
Whatever. Yes. I don't have to make a decision one way or the other.
No, just be there for a moment, and I'll be back with you, or you with me. Just relax and comfort.
So far this guy's had problems just getting out of the building. He made contact with some kind of entities. They said to wait, we'll tell you when we want to talk to you, kind of thing. And I guess he's waiting on that communication.
We've sort of been dealing with their message of when they're ready, they will talk to you. And in that context, and now, can you pick up any feelings of caring one way or another, a warmth of any sort, anything that would be a loving ambience, anything in the direction of that whatsoever? Is there any of that present?
Reaching a hand out, friendly.
Okay. We're reaching our hands out, and we always extend to them.
I think they know what love is, I think.
Oh, cool.
Good. We extend to them our feelings in that realm, in our hand, and our respect and appreciation for them, and for the
They pulled everything out of my stomach when I got in here. It was. We were connected, I think. There's a lot of energy just left my stomach out that way.
Dude, they're pulling stuff out of this guy's. They're pulling energetic stuff out of this guy's stomach. Right, that's cool. So a lot of you commented multiple comments about what you would do if you got out of body. I think that's great. But your first instinct is probably what you really kind of desire to do first, right? So I've got look at myself from a star seed. That's a trippy thing, man. That's a pretty paradigm shaking thing, right? Higher self now, see how high I can go up. Jane says, flying to the giant tree in front of my house and then to the moon. That's awesome. That's exactly what I tried to do when I got out of body. I flew into the tree in front of my house. And then I tried to go to the moon, but I couldn't get to the moon. I was stuck here. But that's exactly what I tried to do. I'm not sure what Gypsy Jenny's saying here on the first one. Send what? See what really is in the North Pole. Bring a drum cymbal back. See in Antarctica. Domek says, I'd want to be present as someone passes away to see who or what comes forward. That would be pretty interesting. Dan Beard says, fly around the hood, try to find something I could verify in real life, look for other entities to interact with. That's a cool one, too. Cosmic said the pyramids would be cool. See, here's the cool part. This is what I'm saying, all right? Like, all of that stuff seems far-fetched, doesn't it? But you can absolutely do all that stuff, for real. All of it. Don't you want to do that? Think about that. How bad do you really want to do that?
Somebody.
Oh, that's okay. I got you, Jenny.
And I think it was them. And then they said that they'll contact me when they're ready.
Okay. Do you have any idea what they were pulling away from that solar plexus? Was that any defensive-ness that they feel on our part here?
No, but it left me in this room, and it was just no urgency. Just we'll contact you when you're ready.
Well, I have a feeling that they are. I have a feeling something is being transacted here in this energy space. That they may be doing something at their end. Each time we have an explorer out, that they're doing something at their end to take in the new information that is represented by the presence of that new energy. We'll leave you there a while longer, and then we'll see if we can get something in the form of a message for you to bring back.
I think they're nice people. They're just not ready yet for me. They're nice people. They're just not ready yet.
Do you get a sense of a yes or no if you ask if you are indeed in contact with CD120, our target here?
An intermediary.
Yes, we just fish around for things to try, and one that this Jim is coming up with is for you to put a wave of energy out through your heart center of an active expression there of our caring. Is this something you think you could do?
Yes.
Fine. Yes, that's good. That's good confirmation. All right, I'll lapse back into silence again until you have something to say, until I'm ready to call you back. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Good.
I kind of think this one's going nowhere. What do you guys think? If you want me to find another one, I can. But you have to also understand, like, this is 100% legit, too. Like, this dude's really trying to get something going through out-of-body stuff. I know it's not as fascinating, but he is getting some information. But y'all let me know, and I can try to find another one.
Okay, Don, I'd like you to make one final openness there to receive anything that might be for you to consider, something to bring back with you, some piece of something, feeling, some closing kind of thing. And get ready to come back. I'll give you a minute. Okay. Are you ready to start to return?
Yes.
Okay. I want to say while you're there, and to them, that this has felt like a really good contact. You're an excellent intermediary from our side of things, and we'll express our gratitude again and thank them, and bring yourself back to a focus 10 level and tell me when you are there, and I'll change the signal back to our normal one as you're coming back to 10.
Y'all want to hear the introductory exercise? Does anybody want to hear that? To Focus 10.
I'm here.
Hello. Very good. Well, we will bring you back now to C1 state. I'll count back, and you can count back with me mentally. And our reminder here always is that when we reach the count of 1, you'll be fully in your body and fully in touch, well grounded, all of your systems functioning perfectly and in harmony, wide awake, alert, and feeling good in all ways. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. C1. Are you with us now?
Yes.
You feeling C1? We also have a grounding signal that we can give you. Will that help you?
No, I'm fine.
Alrighty. We'll just have somebody come in and.
Well, that's it. Didn't get much info, did he?
Yeah, where it felt there was an increasing sense of peace. Very
Absolutely.
quiet.
Absolutely, that's it. I
Very
could have
harmonious.
just floated around in there or wherever I was. I don't know where I was. It was just a non-place. There was nothing there. It was.
There's very little on the tape. We had about 45 minutes, but we just used a small piece of tape to get it all, and it was like it became clear out here that it was a chamber of waiting, like an intermediary station of some kind of.
Do you think these people would give us, like, if we all went, like, as Void Walkers, as a podcast, like if they had a package where they'd give us all, some kind of discount or something? Because I'd do it at home, but I would definitely like to go to the Monroe Institute at the labs and do it, to go through that whole experience. Okay, so before the radio station break, I'm not going to play the whole, like, Gateway Voyage introductory exercise, because some of you might fall asleep, especially if you got headphones in. But at least you'll understand the process of relaxation, visualization, and then the different sounds that they played. It isn't just the tones. This is really only going to help if you've got a left and right speaker or headphones. If you don't, then you won't get the full effect. But at least you'll understand the process of deep relaxation first, right? Visualization, a resonant tuning period, and then you'll hear things like a fluctuation of waves. You'll also hear the two tones, the hemi-syncing tones, and also the fluctuation of ocean waves. So Robert Monroe was big on fluctuating waves as energy forms to help you get in these states. These are the two audios, by the way, that I first got to the vibratory state, and I first got out of body. Just these 2 tapes. They're free now, so I can't get in trouble playing them. I mean, they're online, right? So if I can get it going here. This is just the introductory one. Choppy sound too.
Now, as you listen to the sound of ocean surf, move your body into a more relaxed position. Release any tensions or strain points. Move into whatever position is best for you. The sound of ocean surf, of waves, a natural sound most people find pleasing and relaxing. It is a sound of natural energy, a natural energy always present when the ocean meets the shore, the sound of waves of energy in action. This is why it is a symbol at the beginning of each training exercise, because you are going to learn to use waves of your own natural energy. You will learn to focus these and direct these energy waves that even now are a natural part of you, waves of vibrational energy. Your heart, for example, is beating to create pulsations or waves of blood flow throughout your body, a slow vibration of energy at work. You breathe air in and out of your lungs, slow pulsing waves of energy you create and use. You talk, and you create faster waves of vibrational energy in the air around you. You listen as you're doing now, and your ear takes one vibrational energy and creates another that your brain can understand. All of these and many, many more are natural energy vibrations that you generate and use every moment you exist. and for the most part, you are not consciously aware of doing so. And that brings us to the point where we are right now. This exercise and others to come will help you learn to create and use consciously for your own mental and physical well-being such natural energy. You will learn to perceive it, to tune it, to focus it, to direct it whenever and wherever you so desire. You will be able to control it with your conscious mind rather than being controlled by its non-conscious activity. You can do this calmly and without fear because it is only another part of you. Because it is your own life energy belonging to you and to no one else. Many wonderful things can happen when you do control your own vibrational energy, and you will discover these as you progress through these training exercises. To help you develop your own coherent mind and brain, there are specific sounds you will hear, and it's important that you perceive how they work. This will demonstrate it. First, a tone in one ear.
You should hear that in your right ear.
Notice that it is steady. It is even, without fluctuation. Now we will shut it off and place another slightly different tone in the other ear.
To my left ear.
Notice that it is also steady, even, without fluctuation. Now when I put the first tone back into the other ear, you will hear both at the same time. But there's a difference. You start to hear a wavering, a vibrato in the tone. When you hear this, your brain is beginning to act in unison. This greater, natural brain-mind power is what you will learn to use. So relax for a moment and explore this new feeling.
I'm going to fast forward it a little bit, y'all.
To know.
So he does the affirmation there.
1, 3.
And then he counts down back to bring you into your body. So yeah, I don't want to keep that thing's 30 minutes long, just that first one. All right. And you'll go to sleep the first few times. You might, but you'll be like really relaxed first. Then you'll go to sleep the first few times, and then because we went over the top of the hour. And then in the second video, I think the second one's about 40 minutes long, and he introduces the resonant tuning part of it, where you do the breathing exercises along with it. And then you at the very least you need like 2 speakers, one on the right and one on the left, okay? But it's better to do it with headphones. Like I have my headphone cord, like it's extended. It's just I've extended this thing like an extension cord with wires all the way over to my bed, so I can play the stuff from my computer and just put these headphones on and listen to it. And they also make, like if you are uncomfortable with headphones, they also make these things called sleep phones, which are really cool. They're comfortable. I want to kind of design my own pair, but they're super comfortable, and they're like a bandana that you can put around your head that you could sleep with, but they're headphones too. And it's just really trippy stuff. Anyways, we'll get back to the more explorers and get some more reports in, see if these people are talking to aliens, ET contacts, see if they're going to the pyramids, whatever. Like, I think we're probably having way too much fun with this, by the way. I don't think that's a bad thing, though, right? And we got to do the radio station break. I see you guys listen on the radio station too. I hope you're not driving. Like, you're not supposed to listen to that stuff while you're driving. You run off the road anyway. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
I just ain't my never see you why. Oh, yeah, they like it is shining like receipts of pomegranates in my hands. It's just us that's on this beach and all this sand, all of this water. I know, but damn, I know we ain't supposed to touch it. We only live once, man. Said, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Then said, take it, take it, take it. I said, didn't we do this really? Shouldn't we have waited? You're making faces, probably so am I.
This is Malorcas45, fan of the Fridge FM, challenging everyone to open their mind's eye. Listen to Lighting the Void with Joe Roop to gain precision for your third eye vision.
Hi, this is Kronox from Belgium, and you're listening to Lighting the Void with Joe Roop.
Hey, this is No Way Jose, a Northern California Piscean stuck in the Arizona desert. I'm a void walker, and I got the shoes to prove it. So what do I do when my soul yearns to delve deep into the realm of the unknown? I aim my satellite straight into the night sky and catch a smooth ride on the KTLK-DB radio waves. I tune into Lighting the Void with Joe Roop on the Fringe FM.
Joe, Lighting the Void is the best show on the planet. This is Barney, your friend from Facebook. Thank you and all the crew for all you do. Namaste, my friend.
This is Macon from the foothills of North Carolina, and I am a void walker.
G'day, void walkers. This is Lily from down under Australia. The world may be small, the enigma is greater. So let your curiosity take you for a journey with Joe Roop.
Hey, this is Fee, coming in from Central Maryland, and I am a void walker.
This is Kevin Doherty, a beginner void walker. I'm from Vancouver, BC. I know a little about a lot, and as Leonard Skinner said, I'll guess the rest. I learned a lot from Mr. Roop in the show, and heard it from the beginning. I knew right then he was going to be a new Art Bell. Thanks for all your shows, and keep it up.
Hey, this is Derek from Mass, aka the Night Stalker, and I'm a void walker.
This is Mark from Chicago, and I walk the void to ascertain what is consciousness.
My name is Jared Johnson, and I'm from Humboldt County, California. I do not know all the answers to the questions about reality. I do not claim to know the ultimate truth about life. I seek that which has been made hidden as a part of a family of explorers of consciousness. I'm a void walker. Thanks, Joe Roop.
Have you ever wondered, what do the stars say for me? Or, will the next month or the next year be more favorable? How about, are our two signs compatible? Each month, at the new moon, you can ask these questions live with me, your astrologer psychic, Mary DeCina, along with host of Lighting the Void, Joe Roop. Join us at the new moon for Cosmic Conditions. We look forward to working with your energy.
Every new moon at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Fringe FM.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi. Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink. What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum. That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe. I didn't know the trees were so amazing. Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb. That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to Discover the Forest.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Broadcasting from Forest Tower Studios, all the way from the Deep South. Now, here is your host, Joe Roop.
Oh boy, almost didn't make it back in time. All right, so we're going to get back into doing the Explorer stuff here. If you want to listen to those introductory exercises, I assure you, doing those enough will, if you do them enough, if you have a desire to have an out-of-body experience and you just do those two enough, you'll get at least to the vibratory state and sleep paralysis and all that stuff, whatever, however you experience it. So in this audio that we're going to go through, I believe this one is, well, what it says is April the 10th, 1986, using a signal to track a company, teleportation. There's going to be energy healing and communication with unknown entities, communication with extraterrestrial beings and balancing systems, and reaching a harmonious state. Now, that's supposed to be track 7. If it's actually track 7, only God knows, right? But I'm going to click on it.
Probably need a couple of...
We'll see if that's what it is.
I hate to interrupt, but how are you doing? Where can you talk about where you are or anything? So this is session 1619, the 7th session with AUB with IMEC in the booth, April 13th, 86.
Yeah, it's all mixed up.
I want you to, as you go in, I want you to take your consciousness to a place that we call CD 120. And as I release you to do that, I will also change the signal to a homing signal that you can focus on, that has been sort of designed to help people be led into that contact with a CD 120. And are you ready to do this?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to change the signal now.
I think I've heard this one before.
And I'll ask you just to focus on the sound. You have done your affirmation. If you haven't, you will, and report to us when any contact is made. You know, we're here waiting.
Another place. My heart is beating. It's the first time in any of the sessions that I've been so aware of the pulse of my heart. There's actually feels like there's the word, I can't think of the word, that Morse code on the eyelids.
Yeah, that's a little familiar, isn't it? The eyelids.
But this is different than the usual. Usually when the friends come, there's that familiarity with the eyelids, and then it leaves. It's almost if I could hold my attention long enough, there would be a pattern.
Is your physical sense there comfortable? Are your total self comfortable?
Oh yes. This is just getting used to this energy. And none of it's uncomfortable. Even the heart. I'm not aware of that anymore.
All right. Just be aware of the energy and the interaction.
Oh yeah. By the way, the phone lines are open too. 501-777-5631 if you want to chime in. 501-777-5631.
Or sensing anything about purpose or in the emotions, anywhere at all. Just stay there for a little bit.
I just had a strange thought. I was thinking CD 120, and immediately I got a thought that this is not a game.
You follow that thought. Just let it continue.
One of the things that is opposing what we and others are trying to do is the non-acceptance of their reality. And this is it. They will not deal with that. They are intelligent beings, and they do not like to be patronized, and they do not like to be classified in some of the categories that Earthlings place on what is not accepted in their, they say dogmatic, they're not really hostile. They don't have those kind of emotions, but they just won't deal with it. They say if it's not approached in an attitude other than maybe or what ifs, but if it's not approached in the attitude that they are real and that we are trying to communicate with an intelligence equal to ours or greater.
Yeah, we've heard about that.
And they said that they understand their emotional reasons for the way we feel about this, but that explorers that are able to free their mental and emotional bodies from they said that if you phone someone and they say hello, and you say, "Is that really you?" What would be your experience between dealing with humans? They say now, what about
is it really you?
Communication with your animals on Earth? Because you cannot speak to animals verbally; they cannot answer you verbally. Do you still believe they're there? Anyway, this is part of what needs to be worked on, and they also said that even we, and they're indicating me, must completely free ourselves of the doubts. We must completely free ourselves of the fear of insanity. We must completely free ourselves of what other people think. And we must be willing, if we truly wish to communicate, if we truly wish to have this inter-exchange, then we must do it as adults. We must do it as we would be speaking to one intelligence to another.
So the aliens are telling them, the entities are telling her, is she saying whoosh or wish? Like maybe, I don't know. But the entities are telling her that we don't need to be afraid of them, afraid of going insane or thinking about what other people think. I'm not judging it yet. It just seems a little bit creepy. Just a little bit.
We must not ask frivolous questions. We must not ask for verification. We must focus our attention on what they're trying to show us in the patterns of communication, rather than continue to seek their verification. They accept us. It is we who do not accept them. The communication is occurring and occurs any time that individuals seek it, any time individuals wish it. It is not them that is unwilling to communicate. It is the unwillingness of the humans to be able to accept other forms of communication, to transcend the communication systems, the aspective qualities that we have become locked in. And it is not enough for us to superficially and on one hand say that we believe in other intelligence, we believe in phenomena, but to truly make that part of our total essence, our total
There we go. I was trying to catch Sudi on a call. I can't call out to that number, but
no, you've got me.
Hold on a second. Let me move you over to the B. There we go. You might get a little feedback, but what's up? What's on your mind?
Joe, is that really you?
Yeah, it's me. Totally me.
Yeah. So, furthering this discussion about, I mentioned Tom's Park, which is this book by Tom Campbell, have you read that, or do you know about that at all?
My Big Toe? Yeah.
No, it's called Tom's Park.
Tom's Park? No, I haven't read that.
Yeah, so it's this book that he put out in 2021, and I was super psyched because he was doing like some interviews about it, and it was kind of like around, being promoted around on YouTube and stuff, and promoting it. And I thought, this is he's like, it's kind of like a game, a kind of a manual of how to basically sort of get out of body. And I'm like, sweet, I'm going to get this book. And the book was like $85 or something. It was expensive at the time. I just looked this morning, and it's now $125 on Amazon. So like $85, you think you're going to get something for this, right? I'm going to get out of body. So I bought the book. And you also get, I don't know whether this is an option or you get it automatically, but I got like his voice recording sort of talking you through this whole thing. And what it is essentially, and this ties into like what we've been talking about over the past couple of days, I say like all it is, but all it was basically him saying he created this park, right? And imagine like it's sort of like an adventure park. And
is it in the astral realm?
He's just created this like himself, right, in his imagination.
Okay.
So he's like, this is Tom's park, and you at the entrance of in the audio guide thing, he sort of guides you through it, telling you the different areas of the park. So there's like a water sports area to the park. Imagine like a theme park, right? And he describes, you come in, and he doesn't go into great detail either. He basically just says like, there's also vegetable gardens where you can, whatever your favorite vegetables are, they're growing there. And there's the beautiful orchards as well. You can go horse riding. You can do these different things. So essentially, it's sort of like, physical stuff that you would do, but he's just saying that it's there, right? And it's called Tom's Park. So I paid I fronted up like $85.
Is that just for the book? It's $85 for the book?
It was $85 at the time. It's now $125. That's Australian, so I don't know what to be American. But so you imagine, and that was nothing to sniff at the time for me. That was like a fair amount of money to just shell out on a book, right? But it wasn't. I didn't even get a physical book, Joe, either. I got just like because I opted to just get the PDF. So I got a PDF and some audio files where total audio files go for like maybe, 30 minutes. And once you've listened to them because it's like, okay, it's not like a guided meditation or anything. He's like, and over here is the water sports area. You can do jet skiing. You can go swimming if you want. Don't worry, everything in the park is safe, blah, 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 blah. You can create your own guide. It's just basically saying, use your imagination.
Yeah.
So I was pretty disappointed with this man because I thought, from the way it was sort of described, it was kind of like, oh, this is really going to help me get out of body. And it was just him basically saying, I've created a park.
Using an active imagination and then charging people for it. Really?
And then just basically use your imagination and go into this park. So anyway, I paid the money now, so I'm going to give it a go. So I did. I gave it a red hot go. And, you can create your own guide if you want. So I created in my imagination. And I'm pretty good with imagination, visuals and stuff in my imagination, no problem. So I created like a hot dude to go horse riding with. But the thing was, I thought at some point, I go, okay, he's tricking you here, because what's going to happen? I'm thinking, if I practice enough, what's going to happen is I'm going to be imagining this stuff in the park, whatever I want initially, because I'm choosing it, my own volition. I'm deciding, okay, I'm going to go horse riding. I'll create a hot guide to come with me,
Horseback riding with a hot guy. That was your first thing you wanted to do?
I'm like, let's go horse riding with a hot dude, yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is as well, I'm creating all this with my imagination, so it's sort of it's different. I'm having a conversation with you now. I don't know what you're going to say next.
Sure.
So that's the fun and the surprise, right? When I'm just creating my own conversation with some dude I've created in my mind.
He's saying all the right stuff to you, isn't he?
Well, it's just boring, because it's kind of I don't want to choose what the person is saying to me, and I'm just sitting on my couch imagining this, and I just stepped outside myself for a moment, looked at myself and went, oh my God, get a life, Camilla. This is what it's come to. So I thought, hang on a minute, Tom, sneaky old Tom there, what he's getting us to do is, what will happen, I'm thinking, is I'm imagining this stuff, and then all of a sudden, over time, because I practice, I put in the effort, I'll get whisked away out of body. The larger consciousness system will, all of a sudden, my imagination will turn real, like it's a movie or something. I thought that's probably what's going to happen. But now what I'm sort of getting what I'm kind of assuming here, I'll go out on a limb. My hypothesis is that's what they're doing. That, you know, Monroe and the rest of them, I'm not saying that they're not also having out-of-body experiences where I think it was like Jane was saying, you know, it's like night and day. You feel like you've experienced. I haven't experienced one yet, so
Sure.
consciously, so I can't say, but from, you know, yourself and countless other people that I've read their experiences, they look back at their body, it's asleep or it's sitting on the couch or whatever, you know. It's very different. But they also seem to have this this method, which is basically, I guess it's an exploration of consciousness where you just use your, you know, and like he was saying in that video this morning, you know, you think it's just your imagination, but I guess it's not, like, what's real anyway. The only thing is that, you know, with this Tom's Park thing, he's sort of saying that, you know, the larger consciousness system will feed you a data stream and you will think, oh, is this just my imagination? But you don't know whether it is or not. But I don't know, I kind of feel like when you're creating something, you know that you're generating that within yourself. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, because you're making that choice. So I'm choosing to generate the image of a hot guy. I'm choosing to generate the image of the type of horse I'm going to hop on. And it wasn't like that, as vivid as my imagination can be, it wasn't like that imagination session like ran away with me and all of a sudden things were happening there that I didn't, you know, and even in the dream, things happen and you don't know that they're going to happen.
Sure.
But so anyway, that's Tom's Park.
I'm looking at it right now. So this is Thomas Campbell's event, right? Tom's Park. An MBT event. It says Tom's Park, a virtual imaginality training program.
Yeah, it's not an event. It's like you buy the PDF. Well, I got a PDF. You can buy a physical hard copy, I guess, too. And it basically, he walks you through. And there's like a map of the park too. But you're meant to just go into the park. And I did this like a number of times. It wasn't like I just went, okay, well, that sucks, you know, $85 down the drain. I did try, and like it was fine, but I may as well just have been imagining anything else. You know what I mean?
This gets into like Carl Jung's active imagination thing, which is it's legitimate for real. Or if you're scrying, if you're using tarot cards or the Armadale or whatever, it's all surrendering to visions and things that you get in your imagination and then taking that journey, which is really, really cool. It's definitely a part of conscious exploration and most definitely, I would say, a form of astral travel. But I think personally, and you know, who am I to say anything against Thomas Campbell? This guy's been doing this stuff for years, right? But I think personally, it's important that every person that wants to experience this exploration have an etheric out-of-body projection, right? Like actually peel yourself out of your body, watch yourself sleep, move around the real world in your etheric double, right? If you want to take your consciousness into active imagination or other realms, because eventually I think what they're trying to teach you is it's all consciousness anyways. But you're not, I just don't think that you're going to have that massive paradigm shift until you peel yourself out of body, until you become a ghost, so to speak, and then actually try to affect the physical world. You know, once you get to that level, once we all get to that level, then we could explore all this other stuff, right? I would be more accepted to it.
Out of body, and you're going and doing that stuff. It's different to imagination because while you might think I'm going to go to the moon, you're not consciously dictating, okay, that this crater is going to look like that. When you go into Tom's Park, you have to go, okay, I've got to choose where I'm going to go. It's not like scenery appears before you. Yes, it can in a way in your imagination, but you're still needing to I think even when you go out of body, there are the surprises there, same like within a dreamscape. But with just purely using your imagination, and that's why I thought, oh, he's sneaky Tom. He's trying to trick us into having this very creative, you know, like touching this creative part of our brain or our consciousness where then all of a sudden, whoosh, like the larger consciousness system will scoop us up and take us along with this, you know, feed into our data stream, as he calls it, new stuff that we haven't been expecting. So it will be, you know, I don't know, like more surprise, but it just, I don't know. But as I was looking at, like, on this whole topic too, I just happened to open the manual for the gateway experience, which comes with the tape. So it takes you through, you know, what to expect at the different levels and blah, blah, blah. And at Focus 10, just because it was being mentioned before, I flipped to that. And in that, it's kind of doing the same thing. Like, I'll post this manual into the Discord after the show, but it's saying, like, you know, when you listen to, you know, the tape for Focus 10, it's like, okay, you do all the exercise, go through the whole thing. Again, you visual imagination yourself, and then you're at Focus 10 because he says you are. That's it. And in the manual, it even says, you know, don't get caught up in arriving. Once you say you're at Focus 10, you're there. And now that you're there, you can ask so it's very much like what you were saying about the Jungian exercises.
The Jungian active imagination, yeah. Well, look,
yeah,
most people haven't listened to the Robert Monroe book. They haven't read Monroe's book. I don't think a lot of people get out of body the same way, for sure. But, like, if you read Robert Monroe's book, it's not anything about just using your imagination at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we got into this place. Like, you know, you have to. So you mentioned Robert Bruce before, right? Astral Dynamics is a very great book to be able to feel your energetic body. He has training stuff in there that you can do so that you can feel your etheric double as it comes out of body. You begin to get comfortable with the vibratory state and almost train yourself to get to that state so that you can just launch or peel yourself out of body. But I think what happens, I don't know why this is happening either. I'm confused about it too. Because now a lot of this talk seems to be just active imagination. And it might be because they claim to get bored. They say they get bored exploring consciously as a ghost around the world. I don't know how in the hell you could get bored doing that, but maybe these guys are bored with it. Maybe that's why they're doing this, you know. I don't know.
But something else, like, well, I mean, I kind of don't. I would say, yeah, maybe they are, maybe they're not, but I don't know. I kind of feel like it's a bit of a cop-out, to be honest, this whole imagination thing, because the thing that, like, overwhelmingly you hear is people say it feels more like it feels physical. It's just as physical as this. Like, it's, you know, feels more real than this. So to me, that gives although physicality is still a perception of your consciousness, it's a very, you know, it's tangible, it's definitive. It has, just like the dream state, you can use that word to describe how that experience of your consciousness is. Physicality has another, you know, something very specific and tangible to it as well. And people overwhelmingly say that it feels more real than real. You know, that feels like the real place. So to me, that's really different to imagination, because imagination is very much still in your mind. And I'm not talking about analytically going, oh, this is just imagination, because you can get lost in your imagination. That's fine, but it's still not more real than real.
It's still not more earthly real than real, you know. Like we could have a massive discussion about what reality is, and if you really want to go down that rabbit hole, you got to read Carl Jung's books, like you got to, right? But I get what you're saying. Like, I think it's better for our consciousness, for our brains, to do more of a Robert Bruce technique and a Robert Monroe old school technique, or a William Buellman technique, to where we can so we can feel that, you know, coming out of the body, the vibratory state, moving around as a ghost kind of thing. I think we all need to feel that first. I just think Thomas Campbell is so far advanced that I know that if you listen to some of his old tapes, he does that. He goes out of body, then he comes back and reports. But I think he just got massively bored with it and realized that it's all consciousness anyways, and I can just go into the daydream, so to speak, right, and just immerse myself into that. So he may be experiencing something with his imagination that the rest of the world isn't, and that's why we don't get it. That could be happening too,
good.
You know.
Charge me $85 for that then.
Well, you should. Well, if I was you, I would contact them and say exactly what you're saying to them. Be like, look, I want to learn how to get out of body.
Well, I thought I'm fine to I'm fine with that, because I've derived so much value from various videos of his, and like, I think that's fine, her fine contribution towards him. Like that was what justified the purchase for me. I thought,
Sure.
look, I've already got so much, and people can't work for nothing, So
yes,
whatever.
they can.
But
I have. Yes, they can. But
you can't live up the clean free air, Joe.
yeah, but it does kind of frustrate me too, because I spend a lot of time making audios trying to get people to the vibratory state. That could take an hour. That could take 30 minutes. That could take more than an hour, several tries, right? And for you just to, and he did this when I interviewed him during the break. Thomas Campbell, he kind of leaned over and closed his eyes, and I said, do you feel okay? This was during the break. Nobody heard it. And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just going out of body. And I said, you can just do that? You can just lean your head back and go? And he's like, sure. Like, I do it all the time. So for him,
Is he though, or is he just going to Tom's Park though, mate? We don't know, do we?
I don't know. Maybe what I'll try to do, here's what I'll try to do. I'll try to get in touch with him, even though I don't have the audience retention that I did back then, but I'll see if he'll come on the show and we could talk about it. Because I think a lot of people need to know the truth about it, or at least get somewhere,
Hey, and just one other thing before I go quickly. So just recently I found this other system, right, and it's called Vardenkar.
What?
And it's just interesting. Just want to throw it out there for you. Maybe you want to check it out at some point. It's sort of like this, it kind of feels a bit culty in a way, but it's not. It's obviously what someone's done is it's apparently these these astral masters, right, who are, it's all about out of body. So it's sort of like, imagine like an Eastern religion-ish type thing, which is just purely focused on the out of body state. It's called Vardenkar, right?
How do you spell it?
And Vardankar, I believe. And anyway, the only reason I'm mentioning this is that I think it's interesting that in that philosophy, and I've heard this in other places too, but they kind of go quite into detail about it. They've got like a little map or a picture, right, of the astral. They sort of say, the astral, where everyone is trying to get, we're all trying to get. They're saying like that's just like the lowest. You don't want to mess around in that. That's nothing down there. And they reckon there's all these other levels. So there's where all the Vedic and Buddhic masters and everything exist, and where you can actually get up to like source consciousness, which is like an ocean of love and light or something. It's just purely interesting in the sense of just a different take on, hey, they're kind of like, the astral is like, the hood basically,
Yeah.
Why would you bother looking around that? And it just reminded me, because I've heard William Buhlman say that before, like, why you don't want to mess around there, like go higher. And I think, yeah, why not try that, like see as high as you can go and whatever. But yeah, I don't know if anyone's interested, just worth maybe checking it out. It's a bit odd, the people that it's all a bit odd and a bit iffy, but they obviously do have experience going out of body. Their whole thing is that you need, I'm not down with someone telling me I need to pay money to then get into their church, their system, their cult, whatever, and from there then I'll get more of the keys. Like, I don't believe in that, and I don't believe that that's how consciousness should or does work. Like, all information is available to us all now at all times, and you shouldn't charge people for that, you know what I mean?
Well,
or try and persuade people that that they're restricted because they need to pay. Like, that's
sure,
very
I get it. Yeah,
material and
most of the stuff that's out now, like, if people just did enough research on their own, they wouldn't have to pay a damn thing, right? Like, most of the stuff is for free, anyways, right? So really, what a lot of people are paying for is their viewpoints of expertise or a shortcut that they think is going to get them somewhere, it's kind of like the same thing with magic. All of the spiritual transformation that you do when you go through that Kabbalistic system takes a long time to do. And there's astral travel methods and all kinds of stuff, and directing, what Robert Monroe calls all this energy and stuff in magic as well. But, I could easily just sell a book on it and say, well, we can just get past all that, and I'll show you how easy it is by thinking about it, right? And I'm not saying that there's not something cool to that. There definitely is a method of active imagination, scrying, and all of these things. But, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think you should gatekeep stuff. Like if you're signing up to do magic and you're doing the lesser banishing ritual, the pentagram, you shouldn't wait around till later to find out what the ritual actually really means. You know, like that's how a lot of cults get you, for sure. Think about Scientology. You know, you go through their whole program, and then later, once you get to the advanced stuff, and people's lives have changed with Scientology. Don't get me wrong, but they also have like this weird kind of idea that they're above other people and everyone else is asleep. And then when you get to the end of it, after you've done all the sessions and recordings and they got all this stuff on you, then it's like, oh, by the way, this is all about thetans and aliens trying to suck your energy and your brain and your loosh away. And you're so invested in it that you got to, I mean, that's a mind fuck to me. Sorry.
You know what that is? That whole thing is based on what I absolutely like is just anathema to me is control. So any system where there is control, and that's not how nature works. That's not how life works. It doesn't work based on trying to control information or trying to control your growth or control your progress, control information. Like, no, like I'm not down with that. And anytime I sense that, I just immediately kind of go, whatever. I'll still like check it out and probe around, but I'm not going to pay you $300 US, which is this, because I looked into this thing. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I'll give it, give them the time of day and just check it out. It's like $295 US to join for like a year, and then you get these like wisdom notes or some shit, I don't know, every month or something.
Well, if he put work into it, like if he built a virtual park online, or if it was all like audio, is it audio guided meditations that he put work into?
No,
no,
you listen to the videos once, and then that's all you need to listen to. It's literally like I'm saying. Okay, so in the park there is the water sports area. You can go jet skiing. You can you can blah-da-da-da-da. That's it.
Are people reporting that they're seeing each other at this place, or is there a feedback system of any kind?
It came out in 2021, as I said, and I got it like literally as soon as it was released. And I hopped online today to see, like, to just check when it was released. I'm like, how long ago did I buy that book? So it was 2021, and now I see that there are a lot of, I think it's got like 4.6 out of 5 stars on Amazon, so I might go check some of those reviews and see what other people are finding with it. But, it just ties into that whole thing. So, and with this Vardankar thing, their whole system is based on you go out of body. They don't tell you how to get out of body in any of the videos I've watched, so they're kind of keeping that under lock and key. But you go out of body, and then there are these masters, and the only way that you can get up to these higher, like, astral realms, which are like where all the cool stuff is and where the learning is and the spiritual advance and everything. And that their whole thing is that the point of astral, like out-of-body projection or whatever, is that you're meant to evolve. You're meant to spiritually evolve, and then you don't have to keep reincarnating. So if you don't, like, get out of body now and, like, evolve, and William Buhlman talks about
you're just going to reincarnate and forget who you are all over again. Yeah. Right. Like you're going to be stuck in that cycle.
Getting out of this lifetime, progressing up into these higher realms, but you need to do it with the help of a master who will take you on that journey and guide you. And again, I don't really like that concept. Immediately felt a bit off to me. Like in my gut, I'm like, okay, so I can only do it if this. It's like if everything in consciousness is all one, then do I need a master? I'm not saying that it wouldn't be helpful, but do you know what I mean? When people start putting stipulations and just control measures on stuff, I'm a bit kind of like, whatever. But anyway, that's Vardankar. That's Tom's
I've never heard of it. I'll check it out. Check it out for sure. Interesting stuff. Thanks for
all right, man, I'll let you
for calling. Yeah, bye.
Okay, see you.
Interesting. But look, it's not all gatekeeping too. You have to think about it like this. Like Manly P. Hall discusses this too. That all of the mysteries are revealed in the astral realms, that all of the rituals, that stuff that the conspiracy world is afraid of, and all the temples and everything that people are afraid of are just exoteric symbols of what actually happens in the astral realm. It represents an initiation that happens in these inner realms, right? And then when you're ready, the master will show up to guide you, so to speak. Here's why I've always wanted to blend what the out-of-body people know with what the old school magicians know together, right? This is why I wanted to blend them together, because Robert Monroe figured out after exploring enough that the thing that was actually guiding him, that was, quote, his master or his guides, was him. It was just another version of him, right? And the magical system, it's a holy guardian angel. It's the name of an angel. It's your higher self, all this other stuff. So we don't, like, the Vodnkar, I don't know what that is. I'll have to check it out. But I personally think that you should first, like, seek enough. If you seek enough, the information's not going to be gate kept anyways. You'll find it, right? It's kind of set up that way. And then once you get there, you should experience an etheric out-of-body experience. You should have one of those experiences at least once in your life, which opens your consciousness up even more for wanting to explore these realms. And I think, personally, just me, that you should have a little fun. Like Jane was saying, you should fly to a tree and then try to go to the moon and explore this realm a little bit. I don't know about jet skiing, whatever you want to do, right? And then you'll get to a state of boredom, and that's when the real spiritual work starts to happen. Now, what I do think Sudi's right about, or what she's on to, is like, or the Vodnkar people, whoever, what they are, is Carl Jung talks about this too, like in his vision of being recycled to the moon, right? I do think intuitively that if we don't start to explore consciousness right now, if we don't make it at least somewhat of a priority in our life, stop being afraid of it, start doing it, and then really get to know who we are. Because I think we just think we know who we are, but we have no idea. And then we might have a chance to reincarnate in the next life and not forget who we are. Or like in Revelations, it's not just in this stuff. It's also in religious text, spiritual text. It's in everything. 3 stages that you go through. You're born again, and then you don't forget who you are. Or in Revelations, you get a new name. Or in alchemy, it's a philosopher's stone. In the New Age stuff, it's the star body or whatever. It's all kind of hinting towards the same thing. We still don't know, though. That's my whole point. Like, we don't know. The only way we're going to know is if we got the balls enough to explore consciously. Otherwise, all we do is just create another, like, if we don't, then all we do is create another way to make victims out of ourselves. Whether it's the damn Illuminati, demiurges, or whatever, because we don't have the balls enough to explore consciously on our own. And that's because there's been a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of fear pushing, you know. And that's how you get rid of the evil in the world, in my opinion. You got to wake up first.
Being, and that will come about when all of the aspective qualities in us accept.
But this is another thing. Like, listening to this, all of these people say different things. They're going out and talking to these entities, but then they come back and they all kind of tell the same story, but then they have different stories, right? All I really want to do with the people that listen to this show is get them to just that process or that state. If I had it my way, you'd listen to some of the audios that took me a long time to create, right? You'd listen to some of those, you'd have a freaking out-of-body experience, an etheric out-of-body experience, and then you'd go spread the word around to everybody else, and then everybody would start getting out of body, and then we'd really start seeing the illusion for what it is. But, you know, a lot of this active imagination stuff makes it even more confusing. I promise, I'll do my best to get Thomas back on the show.
Other intelligences outside the physical body's ability to receive and communicate. And what hinders us from this communication, as with me right now, is there are still aspective qualities. And they said the aspective qualities hold energies, and these energies block the understanding of the communication. They say the communication is not blocked, it's the understanding.
Okay, we need to respond a little bit to that for clarification ourselves. the we we're talking about here, we know that our energies here are not pure in their freedom from doubt and manipulative aspect of things. On Earth, as the total Earth population, humanity in general, of course, is a long way yet from being free from that energy. This group who was engaged in our team effort, even within our midst, we would, I think, agree that we're not totally, perfectly free from that. What I want is for you to see if you can ask them if the linkage that we're seeking here, if it can be established, if a small group of us can come to them in that kind of a total belief and trust attitude, free from any aspect of control.
That's a pretty good question, actually.
If they didn't believe this, then they wouldn't be working with us.
All right, I assumed that. I wanted to have it stated for my own proceeding from here.
They said that it is aspective interference that is causing the difficulty. That as strange as it may seem to you, you must enter the booth without any preconceived ideas. You must receive information that you have been given, and you must not let that information be scattered aspectively. When your experience in the booth and the transmission has been completed, free your mind of the communications to occur in what you call your future.
Our voice is getting creepier, isn't it?
If you project onto that which you call your future, then we have a difficulty in bringing in what would be your new experience, because, you see, you have programmed. Now, the difficulty that you will find is not in the difficulty of being able to understand or to explain. Your difficulty will be in shutting off the aspects after the experiences until there has been enough experiences to make sense to you. It goes back again to the precepts and concepts. It takes very many, you see, precepts before you have a concept. This you understand in your forms of communication.
Yes.
Now, you must receive pure concepts. You must receive the pure ABCs, and you must receive enough of them uncontaminated to form your patterns. If you are given a pattern today, and if that pattern is aspectively shredded to pieces and many possibilities projected onto it, when the second piece of information comes, it has to then work through, not merge with the first communication, but merge through the many, many then possibilities that have been projected onto it.
Yes, this.
We would say that what you could do would be to try the experiment of setting up your lab sessions and then discussing prior and after these sessions the least amount of aspective qualities. Now, this you will be able to do later and be able to project a clearer understanding, then bringing in the aspective qualities to help then. But you must first have enough of uncontaminated direct experience. When you have had the experience with the energies and a pattern has been laid and the pattern then has been able to form, then will come a concept. Once you have the first concept, then that concept in itself, that state of knowing will allow you then to know how not to contaminate what you receive today, so that it will not be ready to receive the second flow of information.
All right. So we're going to roll out of here. I'll be in the supporters, show supporters and producers after show chat for a little while. If anybody just wants to, I just jump in there and keep the headphones and mic on. If anybody wants to jump in there and chat and discuss stuff after the show. But what I'm understanding, and that's in the Discord, by the way. So what I'm understanding is a lot of people want to get out of body. They want to have that out of body experience, right? The desire to have the out of body experience, from my experience, is good. You should never let that go, because if you don't really care about it, it's not going to happen anyways, right? But also, when I did the etheric out of body projection for the first time, I did get to a place where it was kind of a balance between a deep desire to have the experience, but also a letting go. So there really does have to be a balance in your energy of a desire to get out of body, like a stimulation of really wanting to do it, enough to keep trying it and keep going at it, but also a surrendering to every experience, to like, if it doesn't happen, I'll try again. If it doesn't happen, I'll try this method. If it doesn't happen, I'll keep trying. And I can almost assure you, if you can have, well, I don't want to assure you because that's my experience, damn it, but I believe that if you can hold on to that, then you will have an etheric out-of-body projection. You'll etherically project out of your body. If you're just caught in this place, well, is it safe, or I don't know, or I'm scared, or I don't believe it, and you're still trying to, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, you're still trying to intellectually figure out if it's real or not, like, then listen to the Monroe books, listen to William Buellman, listen to those, and then if you still think it's bullshit, then just don't do it. Don't even go for it, right? But I'm telling you it's real. I don't know if Bigfoot's real. I don't know if aliens are real. I don't know if lizard people are real. I don't know. There's only two things that I know are real in this whole fringe world, right? Is the etheric OBE projection, because I've experienced it, and what we call magic, which I believe is just a technology of how to manifest things through a conscious system that we don't understand yet. And I believe that the Kabbalistic system came close to doing it. And chaos magic too, both of those systems. If you build it, they will come. That's right. Like, if you really want it to happen, nothing takes the place of persistence, right? Not genius, not skill, not knowledge, nothing. Nothing is more divine than the will, than persistence. So anyways, I'll be in that chat if you guys want to hang out. I usually hang out in there for an hour or so while I do some work late at night. If you're in the Discord and you're a member of the Patreon, or you've supported, or you've purchased anything, or you've helped out the show, just DM me and I will get you into that room, or give you access to that room too. Because some of your names, I can tell, are different than your names here, so I don't know who you are. I kind of like to know people, but I get it. People like to hide online, right? It's safer that way, so. Don't care if it's scary. I just want to fly. Damn right. All right, see you guys either in the after show chat or tomorrow night on the broadcast. Good night, y'all. Sweet dreams.